All right. I did a Wilds like Instagram post. I wrote out what I thought was going to happen in the playoffs. Now, I actually didn't do this for Instagram, but then when I wrote it out, I was like, oh, that looks cool. And I just posted it. I posted my picks, which my picks were basically Miami over Atlanta, Toronto over Philly, Phoenix over New Orleans, Dallas over Utah, Boston over Brooklyn, Milwaukee over Chicago, Memphis over Minnesota, Golden State over Denver. Then next round, Miami over Toronto.
Yep.
Boston over Milwaukee, Phoenix over Dallas, Golden State over Memphis. And then last but not least, Boston over Miami, Phoenix over Golden State. And then the finals, Phoenix over Boston, the 1976 finals rematch. So those are my picks. I nailed all 4 playing games so far. Out of the ones, my favorite for round 1, I like Golden State the most. I picked them in the Instagram post, Golden State in 7. The more I look at it, I think Denver might be the worst team in the West that made the playoffs. Even if you gave me New Orleans or the Clippers coming in there, it's Jokic, who I voted for MVP. And then it's just like, I don't trust anyone else in that team. And I guess the question is, like, if you're Phoenix and you have the first pick, you could pick any other playoff team in the West to play for. And let's say we'll include New Orleans and the Clippers. Would you rather play
the...
All right, let's say the Clippers beat New Orleans.
Okay.
We'll take New Orleans out. Would you rather play the Clippers, Minnesota, or Denver? If you're Phoenix. I think I would rather play Denver.
Yeah, I'm not playing Ty Lue. After Ty Lue...
The Bill Belichick of basketball?
Yeah. You know what? I like that.
You did? Can he win more than one title?
I think it'd be great.
Can he win a playing game against Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell before we compare it to Bill Belichick? Cool.
He will. You compared... Did you compare him to... Or was that a sarcastic take or no? Or real take? The Bill Belichick
No, that's
basketball.
What they said that on the telecast. Kevin Harlan and the other guy. They were like, some people in basketball, they feel like he's the Bill Belichick of basketball.
Oh, I thought that was a
me
Bill
and many
Simmons
other people
exclusive.
Are like, wait, what? No.
Oh, I thought that was a Bill Simmons exclusive.
No, Bill Belichick of basketball is iconic. Yeah, but anyway, my point is, I think Denver is probably the team you'd want to play in the West because of the supporting casting, because they're not going to have Murray back, it doesn't seem like. So if they don't have Murray back, I'd rather play them and just give Jokic, give him his 32, 17, and 10 every game, and I still think I can beat them.
I agree with you. Are you worried about Luka's calf? Where's your worry meter on a scale of 1 to 10?
Worried, but I just feel like he's like us. Luka's our avatar for what it would like to be the NBA. He shows up overweight. He likes to play at his own pace. No, I'm just saying in general, he's the most identifiable player in the league. It's like, oh, Luka, why'd you show up 15 pounds overweight? I love sweet tea. I'm sorry. It's my weakness. It's like, Luka went on vacation. Oh no, he came back. He gained 7 pounds. Oh, Luka strained his calf.
I am rooting for Luka to come back.
Me too.
Because I adhere to the Donovan wants out of Utah conspiracy theory.
I mean, that's great for your show that you get 2 months out of that.
But if the Jazz win, and then all of a sudden and Donovan and Rudy start playing well, I'm like, oh, Donovan, you're not going to ask out. But the Donovan to New York thing, I'm just obsessed with. I just love the idea of Donovan in New York, him leaving Utah. Quinn Snyder's going to leave. Him and Rudy don't seem to be perfectly gelling, let's say. But man, if they beat Luka, I'm like, gosh darn it. So all Knicks fans need to go, and we're going to fly down to Dallas for game.
Why not support the franchise?
Support Luka.
I have Dallas in 7 in that series. I'm tired of watching this incarnation of Utah. I think they're probably my least fun team to watch out of all the teams. I think Dallas and Utah is actually, I would stay away from that from a gambling standpoint. My favorite ones, I have these on FanDuel. I like that there's a parlay you can do with the Golden State money line and the Bucks to either win in 4 or 5.
They're not going to win in 4.
And that's plus 117. No, it's just Bucks to win 4 or 5.
Oh, 4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just that series does not go to game 6. You can bet on that. It's minus like 190. I like that. I like the Toronto money line. I think that Tybal thing's a disaster for them. That's their only defender. He's not going to play in 3 Toronto games. That's brutal.
Well, you have to make sure you don't get to 3 Toronto games, right?
Yeah, I think that's a bad matchup for Philly. I also like the Raps in 6. That's plus 490. I like the Celts in 6 plus 550. I don't know if Brooklyn has the same kind of... Boston was one of the best road teams of the last 20 years. And I'm not sure Brooklyn has the kind of home court advantage, like if they were going to Milwaukee or a place like that. I think a Brooklyn game would have a lot of Boston fans at it.
Brooklyn has no home court advantage. Can I give you my best Celtics stat, courtesy of my researcher, Dusty?
Yeah.
Do you know the largest point differential since the merger? 95-96 Bulls, 12.2. Won the title, obviously. 2022 Celtics. Now, this is the caveat I made with Dusty.
Yeah.
Not looking at the full season. I'm breaking the Celtics season into 2.
Right.
2021 Celtics and the 2022 Celtics.
Right.
So this is all since New Year's Eve. Differential, 12.2. 2016-17 Warriors, 11.6, won the title. 96-97 Bulls, 10.8, won the title. So the 2022 Celtics, starting at New Year's Eve, don't talk to me about October.
Yep.
Have the second best point per game differential since the merger. And it's pretty good. Like that line, I just love that stat. And everybody around them has won the title. So I'm surprised you don't believe. I'm surprised you don't believe in them. Got them going to the finals and losing. Brutal.
I don't believe in them. I have go to the finals. I have to beat Brooklyn and Milwaukee back-to-back year. I just think that's
and losing
a really hard road. Phoenix since January 1st, 37-10. Dallas 35-12. Celtics 34-12. Memphis 33-12. I'm with you. I actually think people are sleeping. This Brooklyn-Boston thing, I don't want to jinx it. There's more rumbling. Simmons is going to come back midway through the series. But Robert Williams will be back middle of the series, in my opinion.
Can I give you a half-baked idea here?
Yeah.
I've gone down a few YouTube spirals. I get caught and I can't pull myself out of it. Greatest entrances. So it's a lot of like Eminem shows up at a concert. Drake shows up at his concert to do his verse.
CM Punk.
Yeah. A lot of Royal Rumble stuff.
Yeah.
With a countdown. So if Robert Williams or Ben decide to come back, I would just like at one point, don't be on the bench. Just be like, we don't know what Robert Williams or Ben Simmons is. And then it's just like, boop, boop,
oh, like Chris Jericho in 1999. Yeah.
Robert Williams comes back. There's a famous like Larry Bird, like, here comes Larry Bird. Just take it to the next level and just give me a full-on Ben Simmons theme song. If Ben comes back out in Boston, be like, boo! It's like, yeah, Ben Simmons is back. Oh, I would love it. I would love it.
So the Celtics for Game 5, everyone's on the court, warm-ups. They're about to do the announce-ups, and it just goes dark.
Yeah.
And a spotlight on the entrance.
And it's The Rock. Oh, The Rock is here. But then The Rock introduces somebody.
So it's Robert Williams.
It'd be great.
I think...
Lord. We need good theme songs. I don't know if we have enough time to get the composers to compose something great.
No, you just use the Chris Jericho where it'd be like, damn. It's like that loud countdown, and then there's an explosion. You need the explosions, I think, would help too. I think we see him the way this the spacing of the schedule just was a total fluke, really broke nicely for both teams. I personally think Simmons, who we still know has not full court scrimmaged at all, they're claiming like, well, if he comes back, they'll ramp it up. But if he gets thrown into this, not having played basketball for a year, a guy that allegedly has battled with some of his mental makeup stuff.
Sure.
And he goes into this. I think the Celtics are just going to hack a him, put him on the line right away, try to mess with him. I really think that's what they're going to do. Like, you can't just let him come out there and be like, cool, I'm just going to guard Jason Tatum and I'll stay out of the way on offense. It's like, no, man, motherfucker, you're in this series. You're going to the foul line right now. Let's see it. Let's see what you got. And try to get him.
That's interesting. So I think the Nets need to get up. Last year we had like a few blowout playoff games. And the Celtics have blown some people out, and the Nets can never hold on to a lead. When the Nets were up 20 points the other day,
because their defense sucks. They're bad on defense, like legitimately.
So I wanted the Nets to have a big lead. This is what I want. The Nets to have a big lead and then get Ben 5 random minutes. And the reason why I think they're going to do that is when Ben went to Philadelphia to sit on the bench, I thought it was very smart because he didn't go on all the road trips. And I think the Nets were in Boston the game before, and he didn't go to Boston. But there was a decision made between Ben's camp or the Sixers or excuse me, the Nets or whoever. We're like, hey, man, you're going to have to, let's just dip your toe into this. Yeah. Just sit on the bench. Just sit there. And we were going to have to do it eventually. And I thought it was a smart kind of ramp up. But again, I don't think throwing him in the cauldron of the playoffs is their plan. So
you can't throw him into a road game. It's got to be like game 3 or game 4 in Brooklyn if he comes back. I still don't think he's going to come back, though. Yeah.
I think it'd be good for him just to come. If they're up big, here comes Ben.
He kind of looks like, when Tom Cruise goes, what's that wax museum? Where like it's like
Madame Tussauds.
Yeah, and it's like Tom Cruise met his wax dummy of Tom Cruise and they look exactly alike, and it's got the frozen Tom Cruise smile, and then Tom Cruise stands by it and takes pictures. That's kind of what Ben Simmons looked like in that green outfit 2 days ago. Like he's just there. He was frozen with this look on his face.
Great outfit.
I don't know. I would be very cautious. The Time Lord thing is different because I think he had the best version of that surgery. I think one of the reasons they wanted to play Brooklyn, other than they just think they're better, is that they thought he might be coming back. And as you said, they have a really big sample size now. This is a 15-week sample size of the Celtics, like taking huge leads in the first half on teams, of being really, really elite defensively, of Tatum, who I think is going to make first team All-NBA, it looks like. It's not like they don't have good players. So
do you think that?
I was going to say, I think the Minnesota-Memphis series goes 6 or 7. I like that series. I just think I think it's going to be a back and forth, just really young, athletic, fun to watch. 6 or 7 on FanDuel's plus 106. Boston, Brooklyn going 6 or 7 is minus 192. You can parlay those together for plus 213. And then I like Golden State and 5 for plus 290 as a flyer. Those are my faves. We'll see.
What was your Toronto Philly thing? That feels like the biggest upset that you just kind of like, I got Toronto over Philly.
Well, they're plus 154. Yeah, plus 154, which isn't that big of an upset. But I think like if you go Raps and 6 plus 490, you'd think if they're down 3, Philly's down 3-2, no tieball for game 6. You're in Toronto and you have Harden, whose legacy of do or die games is probably the worst in the league. Let's just give Embiid 37. Give Embiid 37 a game in this series. I still think Toronto could beat them. It's going to be Harden. They need Harden in the series. I trust him the least of any good player we've had the last 10 years.
I think that is a brilliant strategy of, hey, let's give Embiid, let's pencil Embiid in for 45, and let's not let Harden get anything and watch him just self-destruct.
We saw Pop did this with Nash in 2005. He was like, Nash, knock yourself out, man. You can 35, 40 a game. Good. Go for it. Nobody else is, we're staying home on everybody else. You get yours. And Nash talked about it. We talked about it on my podcast. It like fucked with his head.
That he wanted to get people involved. Because then Embiid would start like, oh, Harden, you get, Embiid's a nice guy and wants, everybody to eat. That would be interesting.
The other thing with Embiid, he was in good condition this year, and I thought he finished games better than he has at any other point in his career. But these playoff games are also, they're really intense. They feel like a game and a half, and the kind of burden he's going to have in a series like this. They don't have, if Harden doesn't get going, they don't have that kind of random heat check guy other than Maxey.